And 3, 2, 1. And hello, everybody. Well, how was everybody's weekend this weekend? Our last weekend just gone. Well, I myself had a pretty good one. Caught up with my buddies, haven't seen them for a while. We had a bit of the old school reunion thing going on. It was a fucking great time. And guys, do you know what? Can I just say, like, today I want to talk about when your boyfriend or girlfriend comes back to you and they had a rebound relationship and they come, well, you can say maybe crawling back to you. What happens? What do you do? What do you do? But first, like, guys, you know, especially after coronavirus, I think it's so important. Even like it's been over a year now. My God, I can't believe it's been over a year now when we've actually opened up again. It's unbelievable, isn't it? How the time is flying. But I think even a lot of people in the last year, people just haven't got out of their house or their comfort space that you got into in coronavirus. And, you know, it was the first time me and my boys now, like our old school group, that we met up. A couple of guys missing from the group, yeah, but, you know, there was a good crew of us. And, you know, it was just like old times again. And I think it's so important that we do these simple little fucking things that make such a difference in our life. Makes such a difference in our life. You know? I love my friends. I appreciate them all the time. And it's just so great. You know, it keeps you going. You know, it really does. Like, I might see them again in a few months' time. Brilliant. Absolutely. It was fantastic. So guys, you know, if you do have some friends that you haven't seen for a while because you've just been lazy, and you know, believe me, I understand that. I've had my lazy moments in coronavirus where I just couldn't have been arsed, whatever, you know. Get out and meet your buddies. Get out and fucking meet them. Like, you're not going to go to bed regretting it that night, you know. Jesus. And it's understandable. You just got caught in a pattern that, you know, just fucking doing nothing, you know. But anyway, guys, yeah, get out there, meet your buddies. It's super important. So anyway, let's move on. So today, actually, I'm basing this off a guy who wants some help here. He said that I'm basing this off two guys here. One guy had his girlfriend come crawling back, he says. So he's wondering, what does he do? Now, then there was another guy that actually commented on YouTube. He was wondering, what do you do? And I said, well, actually, I'm going to make a podcast on this. And yeah, let's see how we get on here. Like, okay, you got a boyfriend or girlfriend. What do you do? What do you do? You break up with them. Obviously, sometimes it can be a shit breakup, right? Or, you know, you're missing them like crazy. But you see, here's the thing. You see, I honestly don't think it's going to work after the first time around. If you break up once, I think you're fucked. I honestly think that, you know, and hey, look, Jesus, maybe I'm a fucking idiot, right? But, or very negative. But you broke up for a reason, okay? You broke up for a fucking reason, right? Like, and this guy now, these two guys, okay? These two guys, they're saying that their girlfriend, funny, it's two guys having the same problem here. Their girlfriend, or their ex-girlfriend, was dating someone after them, a rebound, and then they came back to the guy, all right? Now, unfortunately, I tried to get more information out of them, as in, like, you know, what guys did you break up with her? Did she break up with you? And they haven't come back to me yet, but I just wanted to go anyway today on this, because I think there's enough to talk about here. Because I think it's the same answer, whether you got dumped or they dumped you, or you dumped them. Sorry, did I say that? You dumped them or they dumped you. God, come here, I think I'm too tired, lads, today. I feel like I'm all over the fucking place. I think it's, no matter what, it's the same fucking result every time. If you end up breaking up with the person, you don't want to be with them anymore, or you've cheated on them, look, this is a no-brainer, right? If you cheat on somebody, You clearly don't love the other person. Okay, so let's just go through the scenarios, right? You cheat on them, you're feeling guilty, or they end up dumping you, right? Let's say. If you end up cheating on them, and that's the reason why you broke up, well, that's it. It's job done. Okay? I don't care what you say, whether you're a guy or a woman. If you end up fucking someone else, you don't love your girlfriend or your boyfriend or husband or wife. You can always put it down to, oh, well, it was just one time thing and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Listen, and by the way, this is coming from a man who did used to cheat a lot. A lot. Right? We're going back 15 years now, but a lot. Okay? So nobody can say, well, fuck you, Peter. What the fuck you doing with it? Nope. Because I was doing the exact same thing myself, and I realized I didn't give a shit. Okay? Didn't give a fuck. No matter how much I thought I liked them or in love with them. When I couldn't, quote, help myself, that's total bollocks. First of all, you've no interest in cheating with somebody because you're so wrapped up in the other person. It's unbelievable. You've no interest. Right? I mean, it's obvious, guys. I think it's fucking obvious as hell. So let's say you did cheat or whatever happens, okay? And your girlfriend broke up with you or you broke up with her because you just couldn't handle the guilt, right? And you get back with them again? Really? So that's going to strengthen your relationship? Like this whole thing of, oh, well, what's that saying again? Jeez, I'm going blank here today. Do you know what, lads? Too much fucking booze over the weekend now. I think, what was it? Absence makes the heart grow fonder, right? Yeah, I agree with that if you're in a relationship and you miss your girlfriend or boyfriend, right? Not when you've broken up. You only feel the pain and really want them back because you sense the loss from the relationship. Okay, that's a totally different scenario. Okay, it's like somebody. It's kind of like the comparison of when you don't have to be nice to somebody, will you be nice? That shows the true character of yourself, right? Now this is on a different level, but the same type of thing, right? In other words, if you're in a relationship, you have a relationship. So you're not missing the relationship because you have one. You might miss the girl or guy, but you still have the relationship, right? And if you're still in pain over the person not being around them, well, Jesus Christ, isn't that good? That's amazing. Right? That's amazing if you have that. So, coming out of the relationship, well, Jesus, hello, it's just you miss the person. I mean, it's like smoking, right? Like, I'm a smoker, unfortunately, okay? But I'm a smoker, like, I don't enjoy the taste of cigarettes, right? I love the idea of cigarettes, and I know this myself, but I still fucking smoke, right? Like, I drink water, I drink apple juice, orange juice, I eat these type of gorgeous foods, and I think, oh, we all know this, you're like, oh my God, that's amazing, Jesus, right? But yet, I've never had that over a fag, unless I was horrendously stressed, and actually, the only time I actually have felt that, oh my God, when I've had that puff, is because it's been hours since I've had the last one. Right? So it's not like I've had a cigarette 10 minutes ago, then 10 minutes later, because I'm so stressed, I've had another one 10 minutes later, and I'm like, oh, nope. It's the lack of it. Anyway, my point is this. I just think it's a bad fucking news, man. It's bad news. Right? Getting back with an ex. And I know, listen, I've been there before. I've done that now 2 times in my life where I've actually gone back to the girl. Okay? And ended in fucking, like World War III, It was even worse. The problems were worse this time around. Like the exact same problems, right? At the start, it was like when I got back with the girl 2 times, 2 different girls, right, in my life. And the second time I got back with them, the problems kind of just were okay, as in, oh yeah, great. But it was only because the girl was making an effort, I was making an effort, and then guess what? 2 months later, bang, back to normal again. Everything's grand. Okay? It never fucking works. And especially if the girl or your guy you break up with, then they actually end up having a new boyfriend or girlfriend. Right? You know they've been having sex and this and that and blah, 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 right? And then what? That's going to help your relationship when you get back with them. Stop fucking dreaming. It doesn't help anything. All right? And, you know, I understand, like, I was there, guys, but, you know, so by the way, Jesus Christ, don't kill me, because I've been there already. Right? And you know what? I didn't listen to the voices in my head screaming out loud to me, Peter, what the fuck are you doing? I was scratching an itch. That's all I was doing. I was scratching a fucking itch. Then I scratched it. Guess what? The itch came back. And that was problems in the relationship. The problems were still fucking there. I just went on a mental holiday for about a month afterwards because I just, now I don't have to worry about missing somebody anymore. Okay? Like, guys, and I think, you know, a lot of us know this already. You know? And, like, even if, let's say you broke up for, not even cheating now, right? Like, let's go for even light-hearted answer than that. Like, if you break up because you think that, you know, you just don't really get on, per se. You know, like, you find your boyfriend is a bit just, oh, my boyfriend's just too quiet, you know. I'm actually kind of bored around him a bit, you know. But I do love that he's very cuddly and affectionate and blah, blah, blah. But he's really boring, right? Or you could think that about your girlfriend, whoever, right? Whichever gender around, okay? Like, if you break up with that person, well, okay, I understand that you'd miss the affection and the passion, whatever, the cuddles and stuff, right? But there's still a hole missing here. You're bored around the person, right? And do you honestly think that their personality is going to change afterwards? No, in fact, it's going to be the complete opposite. It's going to make people more paranoid. Like, if you think about it, guys, right? If you get dumped, if you've been dumped before or you've dumped someone, let's start on the side of getting dumped, right? Okay, you get dumped. The ex comes back to you. I'm Peter, I'm sorry, this, that. And then, you know, you end up getting back with them, right? Like, okay. And maybe it even was your fault. But you still have a couple of things to deal with here. Number one, your ego was shot to fuck when you broke up. Okay, so your pride is dented. Right? Now, with that pride comes the fall. Okay? Do you really think that you're going to be completely and utterly over it? And I don't care, guys, no matter how much you try and blame yourself for the relationship, because then if you blame yourself for the relationship, then things get easier and everything makes sense, and then you can all move on. But then if it's not your fault, you're just lying to yourself, and then eventually that's going to creep out of your skin. You're not going to be able to hide it, right? And chances are you'll probably end up resenting your ex for dumping you in the first place. Okay, because number one, deep down you know that it wasn't your fault. Number two, if you are throwing yourself on the grenade for the relationship and blaming yourself even though you know it's not, you're going to hate yourself for doing it. And in turn, you're going to hate them because, well, you're the one that I decided to blame myself for. Okay? This is all in the back of your head, in front of your head, fucking subconscious, conscious, whatever. Right? And third of all, can you trust your ex if they come back to you? In other words, will they dump me again? Right? What was it so wrong with me? Am I that fucking boring? Am I that quiet that she doesn't like to be around me? Jesus Christ, what the hell? You know? And what happens if you are again, this is just the example, what if you are the boring person and you're sitting in the room with her cuddling and yet, yeah, okay, she likes the cuddles, but Jesus, what happens when we go to visit that castle tomorrow? Is she going to be bored out of her ass? Am I not fun enough? Like, Jesus, where do I go with this? Right? Like, it's, you know, endless paranoia, guys. And you can stick your head in the fucking sand and you know what? You're either going to bury your soul or you bury the relationship. I mean, I know plenty of guys now out there in my life. I know them very, very well, and these men are just not themselves. They're absolute destroyed solely. Spiritually, sorry. Solely. Where'd I get that word? And they're just not themselves. They are paying the price for it, no matter what. The guy jumps on the grenade to save the relationship. Yeah, well, that's great, but you've literally just blown up your leg. There's always a price to pay for this. Now, let's say you dump the person. We're going to throw it around, right? Well, you clearly don't like something about that person, okay? Or you've got issues yourself with trust or whatever the fuck it is, right? And what you've done is you've just literally completely and utterly made things worse because you haven't fixed yourself. Like if you have trust problems with other people, the most important way to get over trust issues is trust yourself. Because if you believe in yourself that you can actually stick to your word with something, it's a lot easier to believe that other people can be trustworthy out there. And more importantly, you won't beat yourself up about it. Okay? I know that for a fact. Like, I used to cheat. I used to get paranoid that women would cheat on me. Seriously paranoid. Right? And you know what? Ever since I learnt my lesson 15 years ago, whatever it was, I've never cheated since. I never will do it again. And I can trust myself. And you know what? I don't actually go around getting paranoid, not like naturally paranoid, that my girlfriend or whoever is cheating on me. Because I can trust myself. That's where it all comes from. So if you're breaking up with somebody because you don't trust them, well, first of all, have you worked on yourself first? If you have, great. Well, then clearly you just don't trust the person and you dump them. But to go back to them again? Jesus, come on. Come on. We're better than this, guys, you know, honestly. And believe me, like I said, I've made my mistakes too, guys, you know, and I realize I'm better than this. And I've made my fucking mistakes and I still will. Everybody does. But you know, this whole, if you don't trust them, well, Jesus, do you really think you've made things better by dumping them and then taking them back? Right? In fact, maybe they're going to resent you now because you've dumped them and they're, you know, they've got to get one up on you in a way. You know, and maybe it could be a subconscious thing, right? They're trying to get you afterwards. You know? I just think, guys, like, before I go, I'm going to head off there now in a second, but, you know, there's also I did an episode on the red flag in relationships. Excuse me. And I'll just finish with this. Like, I was saying that a red flag in a relationship is a fucking red flag from you, not the other person. Okay? Now, I just want to say that one more time. A red flag comes from us, not the other person. It's our meaning and interpretation of what they're doing or about to do to us in the relationship. So, let's go for an example, right? If I see this girl and she's really flirty, let's say, and I want to be with her, but or somebody says to me that, oh, listen, hey, you know, Peter, don't go near her. She's a cheater. She'll hook up with any guy in the world, right? Let's just example, right? Whatever the fucking reason is, there's a red flag, right? The red flag is not the girl, because I could be the type of guy that actually gets off on this shit, right? Like, you know, it's almost like a sexual fantasy, as in, I'd love for her to cheat on me, right? That actually could be a fantasy to me. So the point is this: just because she's a cheater doesn't mean that that's a red flag for Peter himself. The real point is that if I find a meaning attached to the red flag, her cheating, then that's the red flag. Let me say that again. If I find meaning behind the cheating and it's a bad meaning, that's my red flag. It's coming from my beliefs, my values, my integrity, whatever you want to call it, right? That's the real red flag. Now, let's say you even do meet somebody and they're the nicest people, the nicest girl or guy in the world, right? Like, they could be the nicest person in the world, but there's something with you right now that you just don't trust them, right? There's something not right about this person. Now, You could be 100% correct, and not everybody sees it, but you see it. But what if it's the other way around? You just have this fucking thing about this person. You know, you're attracted to them. Oh my God, she's gorgeous, but oh, I don't know, man. There's something so wrong about this. There's something so wrong, right? And it's screaming in you. You could be unbelievably wrong, but the point is this. You could get into a relationship with them hoping that they're going to prove you wrong, but you know what? It'll never go away because you have it in you about the person from day one. Okay? You have it in you from day one. You will never be comfortable around that person because from day one, they haven't given you a reason to not trust them, but you just have something off with them. That's the real red flag. So, anyway, guys. That wasn't actually too bad, was it? I'm quite hungover today. Well, I wasn't drinking last night, but yeah, anyway. Alright, guys, enough of me talking shit for the day. Guys, listen, thanks for listening, and I'll see you again. Bye!